So this is a quick walk through our 800-year-old house in France. So this is where the cattle used to live, in the downstairs carve. Go up the stairs. This is solid limestone walls. They're a metre thick. You can see the thickness of them there. There we go. It's the view down the valley. I'll show you in a minute outside. That's the original sink that they use there. Okay, out of the terrace. That's the view all the way down the valley. If you look very carefully, we can see the church there. And above the church, directly above on the hillside, is the next Bastille lookout tower, which is the same as ours. So when the Cathars were persecuted by the Spanish Inquisition, fires were lit on these hilltop properties to warn the Cathars of the army that were coming to persecute them. These trees down here, all of these, can you see? Full canopies, guys, nice and round. The 100 Years' War went through here and the Crusades. That copse there and these small ones and these small fields have been here ever since then. Still standing, so it works. Don't need to lift all these lower limbs off. That's the carve, or the gîte. So let's come off the terrace. Oh, yeah. So 800 years old, 800-year-old oak. I want to show you something, how these are all put together. Oak pegs. There we go. So let's take you up to the pool. Come with me with a little climb. So here's the pool area. So we had to go down through limestone bedrock here for this. I'll get a better shot of all of it. There you go. So there's 5 acres here. It's all natural oak. Look at these. I haven't lifted any of these. That goes to the bottom portion of the land at the bottom. This is a very young oak. So 13 years ago, I remember this as a very small tree. I took one small limb off there. The rest of it is all natural. There's the house. Now look at that. That valley again. Goes all the way down. Let's take you down for... Sorry, it's a long video. Take you for a walk. You can stop it if you're getting bored. So you know, the one thing with properties like this, I think we're used to building properties during our lifetime and they fall apart during our lifetime. Essentially, this is 800 years old. So built in the 1200s, that's when people moved out of wooden buildings and started building using rock. So we just passed through the lifetime of these properties. Then it goes to someone else who then looks after it. So it's a concept that we're not used to as much in the States, I guess. That we just pass through these. And that really is what I always say about trees. You should be passing through their lives, not taking them down or causing them not to survive during our lifetimes. There's some oaks here. Oh, that's the back of our barn. I'll tell you about this little fella here. So that is a direct seedling of that one there. And I remember that when it was probably about 5 foot tall. Could have taken it out, but for a tree to seed and take, the environment and everything else has to be perfect for it and viable. And there you go. It's seeded, it's taken there, and it's finding its own way up. So top to bottom now, that has got to be 18 foot. And that will form part of the canopy of these. So they don't put any lower structure out going towards the other trees because they have each other. And you can see with this one, it's done exactly the same. There's not much coming out the other side there, but everything's on this side. And it will form part of that upper canopy. Look at these. So this is all oak woodland. The whole of this area is called the Quercy. Ancient oak woodland, thousands of acres of it. We go all the way down there. I won't bore you with that. I will show you this. This is a limestone cave, man-made. We don't know whether this was built during the Second World War because the French resistance, the Maquis, were very active here because it's Vichy France. We know people that have got properties that in the past from New Zealand. Actually, in one case, a Jewish lady came back because she hid in the barn on the property from the Germans. Now look, down there. And I've been all the way down that. That goes about 30 foot down. So whether that is 70 odd years old, 75 years old, or it goes back to the Middle Ages, I don't know. So walking back up. Now this valley of ours here, there's 6 of them in this region. That property right on the hillside. I've worked on the trees up there. So I've worked on different properties across all these 6 valleys when we were living and working here. And I've seen a few of them since I've been back. Here we go. That was where the small animals were kept, chickens and things like that. Now, walking back up past our barn, same age. I think it's amazing where you put your hand on this stone. That was taken out of a quarry just up the road 800 years ago. Look at it. Incredible, isn't it? There we go. So the cattle during the winter also, and during the summer, were kept in here. I don't know how dark it's going to get for this. Maybe a light up, that's right. There we go. Those are the old stalls. There. That's where they looked after them, milked them. These were the windows for them. They lived in here whilst they did their bits. And then where we started in the kitchen in the winter is where they used to keep the cattle. And the idea is, and I'll show you where that is, that the heat from the cattle came up through the floorboards, heated, oh there's the valley, look at that. Heated that middle living area, and then the hay or forage was kept in the roof the cattle to eat, and that stopped the heat escaping. So humans live between the heat of the cattle and the insulation of the forage. So they would have been brought down here and walked down through here into where they lived, and that's the kitchen down there where we started. Paul's up there. I'm not allowed to photograph Kerry. Am I allowed to? Are you going to say hello? There she is. So, this is breakfast for us. Sparkling rosé, French bread, cup of coffee.
It is 2 o'clock though.
What time is it, darling?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, okay. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.